friends, Dean here with Escape to Gaming. Today is going to probably be the last vlog I'm going to do right around the holidays, at least by Christmas time. And I've had a lot of kind of impromptu vlogs and channel updates I've done, lately, just regarding things that have happened with the news, with my channel and YouTube, and then certainly my last one with Mark Bussler. I mean, to wake up to that and to see that happening that day was heartbreaking to me personally. And I wanted to take the time to do a nice tribute to Mark Bussler. Again, without him, I wouldn't have my channel. I really appreciate his contribution to retro gaming in particular, and I'm happy to see that he's really doing well with his new website. A lot of people have actually signed up on it or logged in, and I actually spent the better part of Saturday, for a few hours at least, I was able to go on there in the forums and create some new forums of my own and kind of interact with a lot of the fans and Mark himself, which was really fun. So I'm happy to see that he's found a way out. I hope that it's going to be profitable for him. It's not cheap to run a big show like the one that Mark has, so I'm hoping it's going to do well. I'll have a description, a link to his channel down below my video here, and you can sign up and get on the wonderful Classic Game Room website. I think he's still going to have his YouTube channel with the existing older videos on it. Hopefully they won't have any that he'll have to take down because of content matches or copyright strikes or what have you. But again, I've had different little vlogs that I've done and what have you, and I had my milestone of 1-year anniversary that I just did recently and did a really nice little vlog on that. But this one is going to be about the Christmas holiday and about New Year's and about our goals as gamers and my personal goals of what I'd like to do with gaming next year, what I'd like to see, where I'd like to see my show go next year, and what my plans are. So I had goals every year. My birthday comes, actually, it's on December 29th, right conveniently between Christmas and New Year. So I got kind of shortchanged as a kid. It really hasn't changed too much as an adult either, but it's okay. I kind of like having it at the end of the year because it makes a nice clean milestone or a benchmark that you can, okay, so here's a new year. And I usually will, I have a lot of personal development goals. I mentioned in my recent vlog about Mark, I talked about, I had a horrible year last year. It had nothing to do with Christmas. We actually went down to LA and saw lots of family and friends for Christmas last year. And actually it was nice, but I almost needed a vacation from the vacation when I got back. I was worn out and I had a big cabinet job waiting for me, so which I had to jump right back into. So I didn't really have that, I couldn't savor the Christmas the way I wanted to, which is a lot of time on the couch with my favorite game. That happened the Christmas before, but unfortunately last Christmas it didn't. And I was working on a bunch of new intros for my show around this time last year. So I try to maximize every bit of time, still trying to learn the ropes with Sony Vegas at that time. And it took me forever. I mean, we're talking, a lot of hours to put together those simple little 34-second intros that I utilize today, which I've got 6 of. I have 2 long ones that are a little too long. And I actually reused one of those recently on my the vlog that I did about my 1-year anniversary. I used the extra long version of that opening. But since then, I've created shorter ones. I had a couple friends at PMD and really should cut those down a little bit. They're really on the long side. So, last year was a good year. I achieved a lot of personal development goals. I kind of let my weight go a little bit. I was doing really well with my dietary program the first half of the year, and then we were in the process of buying a house and the stress of buying the house and doing this hellacious move that we did. It really took its toll on me. I felt like crap and just started eating a lot of junk food and pizzas and all my favorite crap that I shouldn't be eating. Half gallons of ice cream and that kind of thing, which goes hand in hand when I watch my YouTube videos at night, having a beer, having a good time playing a video game, eating snacks and what have you. So I've let some things go, but I've achieved a tremendous amount in a year's time. That was the big goal. As I'm 50 years old, I had a lot of things I wanted to have accomplished by the time I was 50. Didn't quite work out that way. So I spent this last year focusing to make damn sure that I got, we got my wife's car thing situated. That's done, checked off the list. We got the house, checked off the list. First time we've had a house, since '08. So it's nice to actually have a home that we can have for Christmas. So this is really our first Christmas at home. And because the Christmas kind of falls in early midweek, it wasn't convenient for us to go down and see family this year. So instead we went down for Thanksgiving. Instead had a wonderful time And this Christmas is really going to be about just spending time at home. You know, we got the home decorated, put the lights up on the outside, we got the lights, the Christmas tree on the inside, and it's just nice that we finally get everything settled. We've organized everything. I spent the whole weekend. I was going to start my Last of Us game, which I've been sitting here, and I actually had made comments on one of my last vlogs that I was going to start this game, or possibly another one. Well, this is the one I'm going to start, and I'm really excited. I was going to start it Saturday, and I spent all Saturday building an attic up in my garage to move a lot of the stuff in the garage, you know, up in there, and then I have another big shed out back, and I was building shelves for that shed. So I spent the last 3 days working again on the house, but at least everything's done and organized now, and everything's off my list. And I said, you know what, I'm going to just do a vlog. And I've been thinking the last couple days about my goals as a gamer and the things that I want to do, because I took a real hit in my gaming pretty much the whole year. It wasn't a great year for gaming. I was really tired. I worked really hard to try to make as much money as I could. So I'd come home and I was just the mental gymnastics of dealing with customers and callbacks and going out on sales calls, and yet putting in, you know, long days on jobs. And I'd come home and I'm just mentally just destroyed. And sometimes it's too much. So what I'll do is I'll play a driving game, play something like MotorStorm Pacific Rift, I really enjoy. Twisted Metal, something like that. It's just fun, mindless fun to get into. Many of you know I bought a PS2 over the summer. Those games were fun. I love getting back into Road Rash and Twisted Metal Black, even the very first Twisted Metal I bought for my PS1. I still had my old PS1 memory card and had a blast. So it's nice that I could enjoy that. That was one of the highlights of the year for me in gaming. I mean, even though I played these games to death, while all you guys had a 5 and 6 year jump start on me with a PlayStation 3 and with the Xbox 360, I've been playing nothing but PS2 games and regular Xbox games for, you know, the better part of a decade. So it was kind of nice to finally have a chance to go back and revisit the old days. So that was fun. And that room, my little gaming room, is the closest to the air conditioning unit. It's the coolest room in the house. So when it's 105 or 108 degrees out here in the summer in Sacramento, it's pretty hot, even though it's in Northern California. It's like it's a sanctuary for, you know, frankly, for me. I go in there and it's cool. I take a shower, go in there with a cold beer, and have a blast playing my PlayStation 2 games. My little cat, Vinny Corleone, my little Bengal cat, he'll come in, he kind of curls up next to me, and we have a wonderful time. And I usually squeeze in 90 minutes or so in gaming, and I go check my Facebook and Twitter every so often, go back and finish another level. It's just a lot of fun. Again, playing more Wolfenstein Return to Castle. You know, one of my favorite PS2 games, Roadkill. I still am not quite done yet. I'm on the last level. There's 3 major cities you unlock. I'm on the 3rd city now. It's almost done. But the other ones I've kind of just dabbled in. I just go back. Again, I have my memory cards. So I can go and pick my favorite levels and just replay them. You know, the good old days on the PS2. And so that kind of got me thinking about next year, what would I like to do next year? I've actually kind of liked this retro gaming thing. I wish I hadn't have got rid of my Commodore 64 and my PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 and my Xbox and all that. And I certainly don't want to, you know, get all those systems back and recollect every one of those games again, because realistically, I'm just not going to have the time to play them. But I will make the time to game harder and to put more time into the gaming. I think that now that I've gotten so much done, I just finished the outside of my house, painting the whole fence around the whole property inside and out, you know, just working on the house. A lot of, you know, construction work, things that were neglected for years by the previous owners. And I'm a kind of a perfectionist, and everything has to be done right by the book to the kind of standards, you know, that I like to live to. So because of that, it's great. I mean, now the house is done, but, you know, my gaming suffered for the bulk of the year. It wasn't horrendous. Last year was really good. The previous year, 2012, I actually got through a lot of games and had some new favorites that I developed. You know, that LA Noire Vacation in particular was just fantastic. The 35 hours I put into Far Cry 3 around this time last year. Now that was tough. That was like, you know, 90 minutes here and 3.5 hours there. I couldn't put in the long hours on it, but it tallied up between that, Hitman Absolution, and you know, 007 Legends, and I think I played Black Ops 2, and that's like, again, 5 or 6 games at the same time, you know, all at the same time. Oh, and then the wonderful Forza Horizon, which I played and got a really high achievement score in that, and kept going back and replaying races and harder levels and settings. And I like the sim racing games quite a bit. And I've actually been debating getting this new Gran Turismo 6. It's got kind of mixed reviews, but I missed out on Gran Turismo 5, and I haven't played any of them, frankly, since 1 and 2, where I played thoroughly and loved them, and I don't think I ever got one on the PlayStation 3. Or, I'm sorry, on the PlayStation 2, or the PlayStation 3. So I might go back and get that. There's not really a whole lot of last-gen games, Xbox 360 games and PS3 games I'm going to get. There are a few. I've never played the Mass Effect games. I'm debating, okay, do I need to go back and play the very first one, then the second and third one? That's a series I'll probably get. Believe it or not, even though I love Call of Duty, I've never played any of the Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, or, Modern Warfare 2 or 3. I might go back and get those as well. There's not too many left. Probably, maybe 10 games, 8 to 10 games that I might get for the PlayStation 3 or for the Xbox 360. But my collection's pretty stout. I'm actually pretty happy with it the way it is. I have a tremendous amount of, indie titles and other old PS2 and 1 games on my PlayStation 3 that I've downloaded, and quite a few on my Xbox, Live Arcade as well. Like the wonderful Call of Juarez Gunslinger, which I really like. I had a tremendous amount of fun with that. That's one of the funnest arcade shooters I've actually played in quite a while. And that's almost done. I need to go back and finish that game. I've only got I think 2 levels left. I'm right near the end, from what I understand. So I want to go back and finish that one. So what I want to do is I'm going to try to really work at time management and make the time. That's something, when I've implemented that in the past, for my other goals that I've had with my artwork or with other projects that I usually want to do, it always works. I'm the type where I set goals daily, weekly, and monthly, and I achieve most of them. I get about 75–80% of them quite often. I would highly advise you, if you've never set goals and take the time to write them down. When you take the time to write them down and reflect on them every day, you'd be surprised how much you get done. The downside is sometimes the entertainment. I don't get to watch as many movies as I'd like. And like I said, this year, the gaming was just a disaster. But this Last of Us, I'm really excited about playing. I can't wait to get into this. I'm actually going to start this tonight. And so this is the first day that I actually have had off. There's no work, and I had another big cabinet job that fell through, which is, for some reason, I get stuck with these enormous cabinet jobs around Christmas time. And I haven't heard back from the guy. I think it's just fallen through. I might have lost it to a competitor, and I don't even care. That's the one time that I'm actually having. I mean, I'm not making money, which is not great, but I have, a cushion savings saved up to get me. I always save up in the summer when I do well in spring, and I have enough for a few bad months in the winter. So I'm kind of prepared for it. Although buying my wife's, new car recently really just took a big chomp out of it, but. I'm excited about getting into this Last of Us game. This looks so good. This is going to be my Christmas, when I'm going to be playing all this week. Hopefully we'll have it wrapped up by the weekend. And then right afterwards, I have here on my coffee table too, I'm going to play this Walking Dead Telltale Games. Now that the new one, Season 2, has come out. And that I won't touch or play. I'll probably wait again until all the episodes come out in one nice package like this and get them. So I can't wait to play this as well. And then lately, I've kind of resurrected my old 1960s Star Trek DVD collection, which are all remastered in HD. They're just absolutely gorgeous. And I love these late at night. So every night I've been watching one of these a night. I haven't watched these in quite a while. So it's also an HD DVD as well, but no one even has those players anymore. But so this has been a really wonderful Christmas. I love having it in my new house. I like finally not being pressured to do a long drive, 7.5 hours drive to Los Angeles and Orange County with family. It's almost work sometimes. So I'm actually looking forward to this big break and be able to get some major gaming in. What else? I've got a couple new YouTube channels I've been following, and one of them is a wonderful retro channel. His name is Steve Benway. I'll have a link for his channel down below. Does wonderful retro pieces on a lot of the systems that I remember. The Amiga system, which he's a big fan of. He's kind of new with the Commodore 64, but he's got some wonderful Commodore 64 little gameplay things where he goes in and he just puts the game in with really not knowing how to play it, and just shows you a little bit of each of the games. So you get a kind of a flavor for it. And I've just really enjoyed every night going through and watching a few of it. Going back to the PS1 days, he just did little playthrough of the Alien trilogy, which I just talked about in one of my recent videos. I was really excited to find his channel. Wonderful, intelligent commentary, and he's just genuinely a really nice guy. He's got some other interesting vlogs and things he does as well. I'd recommend that you check out his channel, and especially if you love retro gaming. And lately he's been doing a rash of these Panasonic 3DO gameplay videos, which I personally really love. That was the system that I really wanted. I had the Commodore 64, like I said, about right before Christmas in '87. That was really a wonderful Christmas of gaming. I will never forget the Christmas of 1987. I was actually living in a very tiny little place down at Hermosa Beach overlooking the ocean. Very, very tiny. It was like a one-room, place, little studio. And I had my old little, 20-inch Sony TV there, and my Commodore 64 on the carpet down below, and I just sat up there, just hunched over, and playing games all night, and listening to the seagulls out through the window. It was really a nice experience. And one of the nicer Christmases that I remember looking back, reflecting on gaming, and I've had other ones. Again, the Christmas of 2001, after I got the PlayStation 2, was also very nice. I think I got a couple nice surprise games, which I'd kind of gone without games for a while. I could only afford the one Twisted Metal Black, so that was like a wonderful Christmas I'll never forget, gaming-wise. It was the Christmas of 2001. A lot of fun. So, and again, segueing into 2002, I started slowly getting more and more games for my PS2. And that still is one of my favorite systems. The PS1 and 2 were almost equally, had that kind of an impact on me. But what I wanted before the PlayStation 1 was the Panasonic 3DO. And I've seen so many wonderful commercials on the Panasonic 3DO at the time. I think they were coming on MTV on like Friday nights. I kept seeing these ads for the Panasonic 3DO, and at the time, I had the Super NES, and I thought that was really where it was at. I like the simplicity of the cartridges versus the noisy floppy disk for the Commodore 64. The graphics were a little bit better, but again, the games seemed to be more arcade-like. But when I saw they showed like a little pieces of each game. They had like I think Wing Commander, a little piece from Wing Commander, and they showed a little bit from the new Need for Speed game, which at the time was brand new, and the graphics were just mind-blowing. And I've always wanted that system. The system was it was between $700 and $800 at the time. I had saved for 8 or 9 months for that system, and read early on an article about it in one of the early game mags, and then saw the commercials, and I said, that's it, that's what I want. And I just started working at saving hard for that game. That was a lot of money. That'd be like spending probably $1,500 today for a console. That literally, you go back to the early 90s, it'd be like spending probably $1,200 or $1,500 today. Can you imagine going out and buying a new Xbox One for $1,275 or whatever? So it was a lot of money. And that was one of the reasons why I kind of leaned at the very last minute. Literally, the first week that the PlayStation 1 came out, I think I got it like 2 or 3 days after it had premiered. I didn't get it opening launch day, but I got it just a couple days later. And the reason why I was waiting on I got a big payoff and a big job that I did. I'd started my painting business up that same year, and I got an enormous job, which I worked at for about 6 weeks and got a tremendous payoff on it. So I went out and bought myself, at the time, it was considered a big TV. It was a 35-inch Hitachi Ultravision, and the same night I went out and bought a brand new PlayStation 1. And even then it was expensive, $729 for the PS1 memory card, an extra controller, and 2 games, Agile Warrior, and I think I had Twisted Metal. And then that next weekend I went back and I think I got Road Rash and Need for Speed, which was actually ported over from the 3DO. And I had Return Fire too. All of those games I actually hung on to. I donated to Classic Game Room, and Mark has reviewed some of them. He reviewed Twisted Metal and my favorite, Return to Castle, Wolfenstein, and Mark reviewed, I think, the Panasonic 3DO version of Road Rash, but Undertow reviewed my other ones. So you can see a lot of my Duke Nukem games I donated, little third-person platformers, and a lot of those reviews are on Undertow. I think I had 10 or 12 games I donated at the time that were my favorites. I wouldn't, get rid of them, even though I got rid of the systems. So, again, I've had fun, reliving that over the summer. I went and bought all those games back, actually. I think with the exception of one. I think I'm missing one of the Duke Nukem Land of the Babes. Is a kind of a cheesy little third-person platformer that's kind of like The Time to Kill. I'm going to get that one soon. And Alien Trilogy. God, after watching Steve Benway's video on Alien Trilogy, it just brought back so many memories of that game. And I've got to get it again. That game was so fun at the time. I had so much fun and magic playing that game. So I want to set a goal to get a Panasonic 3DO and a Super NES next year. You can probably get them both for $100 or less. I'm going to try to find hopefully a good working one, because not all Panasonic 3DOs work. Quite a few of them I've found have issues or don't work. So, and some of them they have some games included with them. So they're fairly affordable, and hopefully the controller still works good and all that. So that's been kind of a goal that I find. It's something that I've always wanted to have and never had. So I love the design of it. The industrial design of it is a very handsome machine. So I'm going to get that, get my little Super NES. I'll probably get another older, mid-2000s Xbox as well. The Land of the Dead Road to Fiddler's Green was an exclusive either for the PC or Xbox only. Some people like the Halo. I played Halo 2. I didn't really care for it that much. I see why people like it. But to me, it's more of a multiplayer platform. Their original Forza I really like quite a bit. I probably would pick that up again. I think Forza 2 was on the regular Xbox, I'm not sure. But there are a few other exclusives for the Xbox that I really like. I remember playing Cold Fear and some other ones on that Xbox and really had a good time with it. So I'll probably get an Xbox and maybe just a handful of games, maybe 5 or 6 games for that, and that's it, because my PS2 has a lot of the same platform games on it already, that I'm like Freedom Fighters, which I originally had played on the Xbox, and now I'm playing on the PlayStation 2 again. So I'm going to do that. I love my PS4 down here. I've got 4 games for that. I've had a lot of fun with Need for Speed Rivals, but I've got to get back in and start playing, Battlefield 4 right away. I want to do the campaign of that. Again, Killzone Shadowfall right afterwards, and then I'm saving the Assassin's Creed Black Flag for last, which looks really good. So, and I got the Deus Ex Human Revolution's director's cut also, which I'm going to play right after The Last of Us and the other Telltale Games game. So my goal is to go back in Far Cry 3 as well. I want to finish all of these iconic games. Everyone is, my fans and friends have said, Dean, really, for the love of God, you got to play Half-Life 2 if you've never played it. And my friend Cameron right now, he posted last night, he started playing Half-Life 2, and he goes, now I see why everyone, what all the fuss is about. So now I'm dying to get back into, the Half-Life 2. I bought the orange box, got a mint copy of it over the summer for like, $15, really cheap. And I've got some great games that I'm looking forward to, really immersive games, real adventures you can get lost in. The Saboteur, the last one from Pandemic Studios, I've gotten probably 2/3 of the way through that. That's another game I need to finish for the Xbox 360. Really enjoyed that one. Wonderful open world during World War II, wonderful music and setting, great platforming, and really well done. Some innovative features with everything's in black and white, and then there's little bits of color here and there, and as you free each area, the color pours back into that area and region. It's got some beautiful concepts to it that I want to go back to. So I've been sitting thinking this last few days while I'm working on the garage and everything else, God, what can I do next year? And that's going to be a big part of it. Now I've done, 60 to 80 episodes of my show. So I actually achieved my goal of doing 1 show per week. I've actually, done 1 and maybe a little more. Some weeks I'll put out 2. Some weeks I don't put out anything for 3 or 4 weeks, and then I'll, come out with a couple. So I'm going to try not to let that happen again. I think I could realistically probably put out, my goal for my YouTube show is to put out at least 2 shows a week. They don't have to be real long ones, but I certainly want to do that. That's going to be one of my goals for this 2014. I've already, put down some pre-orders for the new Mad Max open world game by Avalanche Studios, which they say will be just as big, the areas, as Just Cause 2, which they've also done. So that I'm excited about. I think that's going to be a wonderful open world game. Comes out, I think, April or May, and somewhere in there. And this new Thief game looks good, so I'll jump on that. And there'll be a handful of games. I'm really waiting for Jonathan Blow's The Witness to come out for the PlayStation 4. To me, that really was the impetus of why I wanted that more than Killzone Shadowfall or any other exclusive. I'm highly intrigued. I love the Myst game, as many of you know, for the PlayStation 1 or the PC. There was a Riven Myst that was like on 5 disc or 7 disc that came out later for the PlayStation 1. That one I've never played, but I did play twice the Myst 3 Exile, which I really liked. So this Witness really reminds me of that kind of organic, kind of a beautiful, there's no rush, you can go at your own pace, do it any way you want, just an open world they kind of dump you into, and you can explore, and there's puzzles everywhere, and eventually a story gets related through the unlocking of areas and puzzles. That's my kind of tea, my cup of tea. I can't wait for that. So I'm highly interested in that. That really was one of the big, and I thought that was going to come out the first quarter. It may be pushed back. I don't know. I haven't heard anything on it. So I really want that game quite a bit. And I like Sony's direction. I like the fact that they just made a pure console just for gaming. That part I like. This Xbox One thing, it's trying to be like a Chrysler minivan and be something for everybody, and that's fine. I appreciate the people that may want that. Again, I don't feel comfortable having, this HD camera staring at me in my home. It's just something else I got to pay for. I have absolutely no love for, no interest. Frankly, don't trust it. Nothing, against Microsoft. I obviously, again, love their products because I have so much invested with the regular Xbox and the 360. But we'll see. Maybe down the road they'll have a streamlined version and I'll pick that up. But console-wise, I think that's it. I'm going to get that Super NES, the Panasonic 3DO, a regular Xbox. I can get all of those for probably a couple $100. And the games are fairly inexpensive as well. So I'm really excited about that. And in fact, I'm not even really that heartbroken that there's not a lot coming out for the PlayStation 4 the next year. I've got probably 5 games I've got my sights on right now that look really good for the PlayStation 4. But that's good news for me because now I can go back and play my collection in the other room over here of all my 360 games and PlayStation 3 games. So I'm really excited for this coming year. I think it's going to be a really positive year. I got Mark Bussler's wonderful Twisted Metal painting, which I've got the concept art for in the other room, and I'm starting on that next week. I'm really excited. I just sent him an email actually yesterday and said, "Hey Bud, I've got your painting. It's on its way." And he goes, "I can't wait. I'll make room for it." And he's really happy. Frankly, with trying to give him support. He seems very happy with the fact he's had so many fans and friends that have come to his defense and are showing an overwhelming support. I mean, his servers actually crashed on Classic Game Room because everyone went on there and has been trying to help him out and show their support and love for Mark Bussler. Wonderful guy and a wonderful channel. Again, I wouldn't have any of my humble little channel if it wasn't for him. Initially, that I had his unboxing video, and then the interview series I had the first day like 65 PMs from all over the world: Spain, Australia, England, everywhere, Canada. People that just loved my exchange with Mark, and you should have your own show. We really enjoyed watching you, and so I got kind of encouraged to start the show based on that. I had a couple other friends on YouTube that I had been following, and they said the same thing. "Dean, we love your interaction with our own channel. You should do a channel of your own." So I don't know, if how well it's received. I don't know. I have no way of gauging, what I do, if it's something that everyone likes or doesn't like. But it's a great way to express myself as a gamer, as an older gamer, and just kind of put it all out there. And I'll try to do different types of content. Like I said, I'll put out some content with very few views. I don't know. I just do it because I enjoy doing it. I've had very few views on my new, Escape to Cinema. And I'm starting that out initially just showing, I have a couple more segments to do showing all my dramas, all my comedies, and all my action and war films. And I'm going to just show all those in a kind of a separate little segments. And then I'm going to start doing the meat and potatoes of it is I want to do, look, here's Dean's top 20 picks. These are my favorite sci-fis and why. And I got to be careful with all this new YouTube content stuff. I mean, initially, I was going to put CDs in and do screen captures of actual footage and have the footage and talk over it, but I'm nervous about doing it. I frankly don't want to have it pulled, so I may just do some static photos and shots in there, and we'll see. I'm going to kind of gingerly, ease into that and see how it goes. So far, I've only had a few content ID strikes. I think my Batman Arkham Origins got one because I used a cutscene in the beginning. And that actually, I got flagged on that a while back. I just acknowledge it, and they continue to leave it on there. They aren't copyright strikes. And then one of my Twisted Metal gameplay videos. I'm playing with my nephew, I think. And obviously there's music in the background. I should have thought ahead and shut the music off. I didn't. So, and then I went to my GTA 5 video. I was actually going to the midnight release at GameStop, and I had this Led Zeppelin song on the background. Boy, they nailed me on that. That was one of the quick ones. I got that one really fast. So what I found is that those videos are the ones I'm not allowed to watch on my YouTube app on the Xbox 360. And from what I understand, the people with their iPhones and that kind of thing, they aren't able to watch those ones either on a mobile device, although I think you can see them on a PC. So, you know, they haven't been taken down. My account's in perfect standing with YouTube. Again, I'm not monetizing. I just do this as a hobby. I enjoy conversing with you as my friends and fans. And I love the gaming community and just simply want to be a part of it. That's it. That's my impetus for doing all this, is just to express myself and add my 2 cents. As a casual gamer, I used to be a hardcore gamer. I'm a hardcore gamer in my mind, but not in reality. So that I'm going to try to find a balance next year and game more, because I do need to game more. I have pretty much set my channel up. It's on autopilot. I pretty much have gotten acclimated with the Sony Vegas now. I can produce these videos really quick, even editing in pictures and video. I'm fairly fast at it. I'll probably try to keep a lot of my YouTube content more like these vlogs, because I don't think I'm going to have any issues with it. I certainly don't want to get a copyright strike and be taken down. So I'll enjoy my friends' videos. I'm still going to try to do game reviews. I just have to be careful about cutscenes and stuff like that. Again, I bought this brand new Hauppauge, HD PVR2, but my TV's here, and I've got 40 feet away in the other room. Now it's even farther away is my PC tower. And again, that old '05 Windows XP can't process the speed. I need like an i5 or i7 processor, Intel processor, frankly. So that's still a big goal for next year, along with my consoles that I want to buy. Is I've got to get a good PC, and I might use it for gaming too. I do have Red Faction. I've got the uncut version of Manhunt 2. I've got another version of Wolfenstein Return to Castle, PC version, Doom, other wonderful PC games are all installed in my other computer. But I like to do my gaming on the couch and the TV. It's comfortable, and I actually prefer that. So, drink a soda. I'm getting thirsty now. So it's going to be a great year. I'm going to try to get a little bit of gaming art, do Mark's painting right off the bat in January, and then shortly after, I'll probably do a couple other smaller pieces. Mark's is big. It's going to be like 5 feet big, contour cut out. I'm going to do a couple smaller ones, maybe a Wolfenstein one or something else with the new Wolfenstein, the new Order game coming out. I thought I might do a little retro one, maybe a retro Doom cutout as well. It would be kind of cool. So I'm going to be working on those in January. Usually it's very slow. January and February, I'm like sitting on my hands with nothing to do. So it's a great time for gaming. Of course, the phone could always ring, get busy again. I'm right back where I was. But again, I'm going to implement some time management this year and really spend more time gaming. That's what I really need to get back into. And I'm getting encouraged watching my friends. I get inspired when I see them get a game, and I have it in me. Like I said, I've got over 100 hours I blew through in 2 weeks on Grand Theft Auto 5. So when I'm motivated, I'll pour in that kind of time into a game, especially if it has a lot of collectibles and explorations. I just like to just go about and explore and just drive around and have fun. In fact, I might even do some videos where I'm talking over me just driving around GTA 5. I just got to make sure the damn radio's shut off on it. But, and I understand they're going to be having some new single-player content coming out for GTA 5, which I'm really excited about. After I finished the story, I certainly wanted more. So I'm really pumped about that. I don't know when that's coming out, but I'm very much looking forward to it. The online, I just didn't want to do. I didn't want to be trolled by other people. Just killing the minute I enter the world, I have everything taken away. They had lots of glitches, weird problems, people going out of their way to just kill you the minute they see you. It's not my idea of fun, but I see why people like it. Having the safe houses in your garages and all that, and the putting warrants out on people and going after them. In concept, it's fun. from what I've watched other videos of it, it doesn't look like, my cup of tea, but I take my hat off to you. If you like it and you have fun with it, knock yourself out. It's certainly, I got my $60 worth with a single player campaign. It's almost like, it's worth $60 from what I understand for the people that actually like the online component. It's well worth it for that alone. So, I think it's going to be a great gaming year. It's going to finally, for me, I'm excited because I can see that with not a lot of new stuff coming out, finally I can catch up on all these masterpieces of gaming that I've been just, evading my time for so long here, which I'm really excited about. So I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Leave in the comments what goals you have. I really would like to hear what things you're excited about doing this new year. I got to work on a weight loss thing as well. I may have personal development goals as well, but just in gaming, what games are you looking forward to playing? What games are you the most excited about coming up? For some, it's going to be this new Destiny game, or this new Tom Clancy. I think it's called The Division. Again, these are heavy multiplayer, server-based games. I'm still, even the Crew, which looks good because it's a car game, I don't really care for that direction. I want games where I could be on a desert island, find an outlet, plug the damn console, and play it without being online, without having, updates, or having my, ability to play the game authorized online or what have you. So I'm kind of nervous about, even with my PS4, which I love, as long as the games continue to have a wonderful campaign and I can play it in theory 20 years from now, long after they stop supporting that console, that's fine. That's why I went out and I bought a brand new Xbox 360, 250 gig hard drive. But that's another goal, is I want to get that 320 gig hard drive to put the rest of my favorite games. And I'm also going to buy, just because I can, another PS3. This one I think is a 160 gig model, the slim that has just a smooth top. They have like a super slim with 500 gigabytes. That one I want to get. And I'm going to go and I'm going to buy, even though I played them already on the Xbox 360, I'm going to buy all the Rockstar games. Red Dead Redemption, LA Noire again, GTA 4, all the GTA games, and GTA 5 I want to buy for that and install on that. The Rockstar games play really well on the X. They know how to optimize the cell architecture of the PS3, and they seem to look and play really good. So I'm going to probably, I'll buy another handful, 5 or 6 Rockstar games for that, and just to have those consoles as backup. So in theory, 20, 30 years from now, I've got, including with all the patches and updates, I have all my favorite games installed, patched, DLC, everything. They can pull the plug on support, I can still play them. That's my idea of gaming, and that's what I like about retro gaming. I can go out and get a Super NES right now and get Outlander, which is kind of the equivalent of Mad Max, plug it in and enjoy it right now. 20 plus years later. I think that's really cool. So to me, that's my idea of gaming. That's why I like this retro gaming. I'm getting more and more into it. At first, I just wanted whatever the latest new thing was, because I just wanted games to get more immersive and more realistic, and they've gotten that. But then once you have that, it kind of leaves a hollow inside, and you kind of miss, okay, well, why do those other games seem so special and magical? And I just did a long, rant on that, which you can watch. And that's why I like kind of having a smorgasbord, a cornucopia of gaming with consoles, different types of games. I don't have these Android, hand phone games. I still have an old flip phone. So I'm not really interested in those, but I see why people like them. I have an account on Steam. I do have a couple Steam games, which I mentioned earlier, which I have, but I don't really take advantage of that. My PC really can't handle a lot of They can handle like old games, like the old Manhunt and Red Faction, stuff like that, but that's it. It certainly can't handle a lot of those killer games, Crisis 3 and stuff like that. So, but anyway, that's what my goal is. Just wanted to take the time to share this vlog with you. Merry Christmas, everyone. Have a wonderful Christmas and New Year's. Be safe. Have a good time on the couch. Have a good time with your favorite films, TV shows, movies, your loved ones, your friends. That's really what Christmas is all about. Last year wasn't a horrendous Christmas. It was more of a bad birthday at turning 50 than it was, a Christmas deal with me. But this year I really feel good. I've gotten so much under my belt accomplished, and I'm so excited about the new year and new goals ahead. So let me know in the comments what you're looking forward to, and I really appreciate you taking the time to support my channel and watch this video. Thanks so much, and enjoy those games this holiday season.